Vamos a darle colerín a Diego. ¿Qué te parece, Fletcher?
Dale.
Diego, uno de los mejores personajes del primer libro del Señor de los Anillos. No estoy hablando de The Fellowship of the Ring completo, estoy hablando Fellowship of the Ring, libro 1. ¿Cuál es uno de los mejores personajes ahí?
Me estás preguntando algo que no hace tiempo que no he leído El Señor de los Anillos, pero... ¿El libro 1 se encuentran con Aragorn o aún no? No recuerdo.
Libro 1 termina después de que se encuentran con Aragorn cuando ya llegan a... Sí, ya llegan a la casa de Elrond.
Ya. Es que, de verdad, siento que el problema es que cuando yo leí los libros, yo ya había visto la primera película. Yo ya estaba como que enamorado del concepto de Viggo Mortensen y Aragorn.
Ah, ok. No, no se trata de Aragorn. Se trata de un
Sí,
personaje que no estuvo en las películas.
No me digas que vamos a hablar del gordo de Tom Bombadil y su esposa.
Sep. Porque ¿sabes qué van a hacer en los anillos del joder?
Tan, tan, tan.
¿Me disculpan un segundo mientras voy a gritarle al vacío?
Una toalla, Pablo. Una toalla nada más.
For those who don't know, that only have watched the Lord of the Rings movies, there's a character on the books that is called Tom Bombadil that appears on the first book. When I mean the first book, if you don't know, the Lord of the Rings is actually 6 books that you normally get in 3 sets. The first set is the Fellowship of the Ring, comprising book 1, that is the travel that Frodo does until the ring gets into the council. Book 2 is about the council and the Fellowship of the Ring. And so if you have seen in the movies, you have what's going on with Frodo and Sam, and you get interconnected scenes with what's going on with Aragorn, with Pippin, right? In the books, is completely separated. So you have in book 3, 4, 5, and 6. 3 is about... let me remember the right order. 3 is about the Fellowship. 4th is about Frodo and Sam. 5th is about the Fellowship, and 6th is about Frodo and Sam. So it is divided in different sections. And when it was sold, finally, they decided to sell it in 3 tomes. So you have the Fellowship, book 1 and 2, the two towers, that is book 3 and 4, and the Return of the King, that is book 5 and 6. In book 1, you get Tom Bombadil, that is basically possibly a Maiar, or even a Valar that was not... This is the ranks of gods. Main god is Ilúvatar. Ilúvatar creates the world, and he creates the Valar that are Manwë, Orome, etc., etc. And these are basically gods. From them come the third level, that is Sauron, Saruman, Gandalf, Radagast, etc., etc. You don't really know where Tom Bombadil fits in, but he's more powerful than any of them. He has the power of creation. He has the power of actually destroying darkness and destroying light alike. He's beyond comprehension. The thing is that he's so happy about having a nice wife that he doesn't really care about anything. So he doesn't participate in any of the wars, in anything. But at one point, he actually makes contact with Frodo, and he saves Frodo on the first book. That's the only appearance inside of the Lord of the Rings proper. He has 2 other appearances on Tolkien lore. Those appearances are in separated stories that were made before the Lord of the Rings. So this is one of the first characters that exist on the Tolkien universe, but he was created out of the Tolkien universe. He was created as a poem for his kids. Like The Hobbit. The Hobbit was a kid book that he wrote on the beach because he wanted his kids to be actually happy. That's the story of how Tolkien got into the Hobbit. But yeah, Tom Bombadil is originally from a poem that is not registered neither on the epilogue for the Return of the King, nor on the Unfinished Tales or the Silmarillion. So that means that the rights for Tom Bombadil are basically a complete different monster that nobody have. You know where I'm going, right? They don't have the rights for Tom Bombadil. If you remember how the contract with Amazon was done, they don't have the rights for anything other than the epilogue and the appendix for The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. The third volume, the end of book 6 has the end of The Lord of the Rings. Afterward, there's a couple of pages about the son that Aragorn have with Arwen, and after that, there's a lot of genealogy. They have only rights for that part. That's everything that they have rights. They don't have rights for the Silmarillion. They don't have rights for the Lord of the Ring books. They don't have rights for any of that. So they don't have rights for Tom Bombadil. And Tom Bombadil as a character begins in something that is not even on the Lord of the Rings. The Tolkien estates have the rights for that. They can sell the rights for that, but they haven't. So Tom Bombadil is nothing that Amazon should touch, but they are. Any opinion?
My question would be, do we have any confirmation that they did not reach an agreement?
There's no anything public about an agreement about they getting the poem of Tom Bombadil on the... Basically, they don't have anything other than that part of The Return of the King. There's no public announcement of anything else.
And as Tom Bombadil is truly a unique character, while his exact essence is up for debate, he's one of the few people whom the One Ring meant nothing. Frodo offered it to him, and he said, "Nah, I'm fine."
Yeah, actually, he receives the ring. The first giveaway is that Frodo hands him the ring, and he's on one of the only 3 people on the book that touch the ring. The first is Bilbo, other than Frodo, obviously. The first is Bilbo. The second is Gandalf. Gandalf holds the ring. And the third one is Tom Bombadil. Not even Elrond dare to touch the ring because he was not powerful enough to handle the corruption from the ring. The only reason why he and the other elves got a hold of the elf rings is because the elf rings were done in a way that they didn't got contaminated by the dark power of Mordor. But they are still on possession of the ring holder, of the One Ring holder. So basically they are still connected. They are not under the influence of Sauron. That's the explanation that you get why the elves didn't become corrupt after having the rings. They have the 3 rings during the Lord of the Rings, except with the fire ring. Naya is given to Gandalf. Well, anyway, Frodo gives the ring to Tom Bombadil, and Tom Bombadil plays with it for a while, tosses it into the air, And then he remembers the face of Goldberry, his wife, and he's like, "This is meaningless," and gives it back to Frodo. So he actually not only had the ring, he had the ring for a while, and he played with the ring. Normally, when somebody starts playing with the ring, is when they are start to get a hold of corruption, because that's the moment when they start to become enticed by the ring, and that's why they are playing with it and saying "my precious" and everything. Is the mind being corrupted? Well, Tom Bombadil basically did the whole playing with it, and then he tossed it away. Is beyond the powers of light and darkness. He is beyond any comprehension. Even Tolkien didn't even try to explain the character because it was impossible. When they got to the movies, Peter Jackson was like, "No, Doc, I'm good. I cannot tackle this one." Somebody on
This is too much.
Yeah, somebody on Amazon decided, you know what? This character that nobody can do because it's almost impossible, we will fuck it up. And they did.
They say, we're gonna try to fuck it up.
Yeah, so they are doing
That
Tom
was the
Bombadil,
first
man.
season.
What are we seeing in this photo? Who is this in this photo? Exactly.
That's supposed to be Tom Bombadil. And yes, he's supposed to be a merry fellow and his boots be yellow. Yeah, none of the description from the poem is in this. So it's only Tom Bombadil by name.
Yeah. His cloak is kind of dark. His boots are dark. He's not a merry fellow. He's not happy. He's looking down.
Is a kind, yeah.
But they did the same thing to Galadriel, so why are we surprised?
Because this is a character that is supposed to be on a realm away from anything that you can imagine. Even Manwë, that was the king of the gods. He was the head of the Valar. He is the only character that has been described as in the same way as Tom Bombadil, as unknowing good and bad, unknowing light and darkness, unknowing harm and happiness. Manwë is supposed to be a god away from anything, and he's the creator of the eagles, right? Mm-hmm. So because of that description, Tolkien is basically trying to tell you that this is away from sin, that this is a character so away from sin that even good is meaningless to him. Tom Bombadil is supposed to be in a higher plane than Manwë. How is he looking like that?
I still debate the fact that Tom Bombadil is just an aspect of Eru Ilúvatar.
Yeah, actually, there's a whole theory that that's why they say that maybe he's a Valar, because during the song there's joy, but Melkor interrupts the second song, right? And he inserts all the darkness that comes in the second song. But there's still that joy, that light that was supposed to disappear, that nobody knows where it is. That's supposed to be Tom Bombadil.
Yeah, but in this, they basically bringing him in supposedly in a different era, because this is their era. Who knows what area? The second one, because supposedly they were going to jump in time, right, for the second season.
Yeah, and, but he's supposed to be there even before that, even before the Silmarils.
So now he's that makes sense now, because now he's grumpy. It takes something else happen to make him happy. See, Amazon.
Actually, Treebeard talks about one of the companions on the stories of Tom Bombadil, Old Man Willow. The tree that tries to eat Pippin.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the whole connection with Treebeard.
Wow.
Treebeard keeps Pippin and Mary from the Old Man Willow. Is
See them and like, estos pendejos.
yeah. So there's connections from the Tom Bombadil stories, but you never know anything else. And every single character from the Tom Bombadil poems and stories that appears on the Lord of the Rings or in another book is already ancient. So Tom Bombadil had his interactions way before that. Tom Bombadil is as ancient as the world.
Mm.
So he can be there. That's not the issue. But he should be just gushing about his wife, Goldberry, and be happy. That's it. That's...
Yeah. I agree with Griffin. I see that Rings of Power is going to do. Tom Bombadil was a typical grumpy, angry man of the patriarchy, and Goldberry intercedes and teaching him feminism.
Don't
You
give
forgot
them
the-
ideas. Yeah, right? Yeah.
I would just say this, kill me now.
Yeah, exactly. And my love for the Lord of the Rings have been really stupid out of late. Diego, you know that they had a set of the Lord of the Rings on Magic the Gathering, right?
Yes.
I got
remember still Aragorn.
Oh yeah, Black Aragorn. But I got the One Ring.
The fact you
Spoiler.
bought, you used your money to purchase that is complete. I have lost faith.
No, actually, it's really good. My deck is way more powerful because of that. But I love the Lord of the Rings. I will purchase the One Ring if it's a probe or it's a card. I don't want to watch this series anymore.
Máteme.
Well, Fletcher, check your text. Send
Okay.
a note to Andre. That's a whole nother. Let me ask you guys this: as Fletcher pops out and pops back in, and in the chat too, and ask this in Espanol. Can this season 2 get any worse than season 1?
Yes.
What say you? What say you?
La respuesta es sí. Nos pregunta Pauli si es que la segunda temporada de Los Anillos del Joder puede ser peor. Mi respuesta personal es sí.
Siendo honestos, todo puede ser peor de lo que nos imaginamos. Literalmente este punto es más competencia de ver cómo podemos cagarla más.
Hermano, para dar a breves rasgos la explicación que di de Tom Bombadil. Tom Bombadil empezó no en los libros del Señor de los Anillos, sino en poemas aparte. Es un personaje creado antes del Señor de los Anillos. Aparece en El Señor de los Anillos como básicamente un cameo que hizo Tolkien de uno de sus personajes favoritos. Y el árbol que aparece en el primer poema de Tom Bombadil también aparece en uno de los libros del Señor de los Anillos, donde obviamente Old Man Willow trata de comerse a Pippin y Merry. Esos son los personajes que han aparecido de Goldberry, la esposa de Tom Bombadil, que también aparece en el libro del Señor de los Anillos. Fuera de eso, no hay ninguna otra mención de Tom Bombadil dentro de El Señor de los Anillos, fuera de su aparición en el libro y su name drop durante el Consejo del Anillo en la casa de Elrond. No hay mucho más al respecto de este personaje. Porque realmente no es parte del mundo del Señor de los Anillos. Nunca fue explicado cuál es su posición en el universo y todo. Entonces hay diferentes historias, diferentes teorías sobre si es que él es la felicidad que desapareció en la segunda canción cuando Melkor se tomó la canción de Eru Ilúvatar para crear el mundo, o si es que él es otro Valar que nunca fue mencionado durante la creación, o lo que sea. Es un personaje misterioso que ha estado ahí desde el principio, que siempre ha sido parte de la historia del Señor de los Anillos y del universo del Señor de los Anillos, sin ser nombrado. Porque originalmente era un poema para los hijos de Tolkien, nada más. No tenía otra razón de ser, y su cameo es porque los hijos de Tolkien reconocían al personaje, nada más. Entonces, primero, no se supone que tengan los derechos en Amazon, porque deberían tener únicamente los derechos hasta y exclusivamente el apéndice de El Retorno del Rey. No hay una confirmación ni ninguna publicación sobre si es que los derechos de Tom Bombadil han sido cedidos o vendidos de alguna manera a Amazon. Sus derechos no deberían estar ni siquiera en El Señor de los Anillos. Sus derechos deberían estar en la aventura de Tom Bombadil, que es la historia original en la que aparece Tom Bombadil. Entonces, como no hay nada oficial, simplemente sabemos que Tom Bombadil va a estar en los Anillos del Joder y que lo van a arruinar.
Como siempre.
Como siempre. Ay, porque a mí. ¿Sabes que voy a tener que ver la serie?
Más fuertes a sus payasos, no, le da sus peores chistes a sus mejores payasos.
Honk, honk.
Si está esperando que respondas.
Ay, honk, honk. Pero bueno, básicamente esa es la... Griffin nos dice, Pauli, International we say...
I wasn't doing a Dama, Griffin. I was doing Vigo in Return of the King, when he's asking or Twin Towers, he's asking the ghost to join him, and he's like, "What say you? What say you?" That's what I was referring to.
Oh, the Who Do You Serve?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Like, you know.
Yeah. When they go to fetch the ghost, that scene is only on the extended version, and is actually really compressed. If you read the book, the adventures,
the adventure is long on that one.
Yeah. But it's really good. They actually get a hold of the ghost and they take over the boats that are coming from the south, and that's how they manage to turn the tide. That and the help that Gandalf give them, but yep. It's the light that controls the Nazgul, and that's why Gandalf ends up fighting the Witch King.
Yeah, but nobody really remembers that part. They more remember the movies.
In the movies, there's just a few seconds of Gandalf facing the Witch King.
So say we all.
In the book, they literally have an argument.
Yep.
So
most people don't understand the fact that actually the Nazgul are not just mindless killing machines. They're just corrupted souls.